And we just have some breaking news coming out of Israel, and it is that the Israeli Defense Force says it has carried out what it calls a targeted strike in Beirut, the capital of Lebanon, on the commander responsible for the murder of the children in Majdal Shams and the killing of numerous additional Israeli civilians. So that would be a Hezbollah commander. And the Israeli attack comes 2 days after a suspected Hezbollah rocket slammed into a football pitch on the Israeli-controlled Golan Heights. 12 children were killed in that attack, the highest death toll on Israeli-held territory since October the 7th. But Israel vowed to act in revenge, but both sides are indicating they're not seeking an escalation of the war that has remained at a relatively low level. Well, our special correspondent, Alex Crawford, is at the scene of that explosion in Beirut, joins us now on the phone. So, Alex, what are you seeing and hearing?
Evening, Mark. We're actually still on the way there, just about a kilometre away now. The images that are coming out from various colleagues who are very close to the area show a very large area has been hit. They're saying that it's centred around a building. They're not sure if anyone was actually in it or not. But there's a fair amount of fire and a fair number of other buildings which have been impacted. It's a very densely populated area. It's a Hezbollah stronghold. And as you know, Hezbollah have been uncharacteristically quick in their denials with this. Hezbollah have a very long history of accepting and taking responsibilities, even mistaken attacks, which they have been accused of in the past. For instance, one against the Palestinian community in which the Hezbollah leader himself, Hussein Nasrallah, apologized for and paid his condolences to the family. So the fact that they came out, it's the first time in nearly 10 months that Hezbollah denied being part of this incident, is significant and worth noting. The past few days, I've been talking to generals, former generals, diplomats, politicians, Hezbollah loyalists, Hezbollah fighters. They are all of the view, particularly very key officials, Hezbollah experts, a leading Hezbollah expert, that this is very out of kilter to all previous Hezbollah tactics, and that they felt it was a precursor to allow Israel to attack Lebanon, which they have vocalized very strongly over the past 48 hours. It's significant, I think, that in the hours leading up to this, there's been a flurry of activity, particularly warnings from embassies, including the UK government warning people in Lebanon, British citizens in Lebanon, to leave. The new Foreign Secretary, David Lammy, just issued that by video just a few hours earlier this afternoon, urging British citizens in Lebanon to leave immediately and to do it before a crisis develops. That's been replicated by the US embassy and a raft of other embassies, including Ireland and Saudi Arabia. On top of that, we've had an increase in is very closely linked to Hezbollah, funds it, and is a big supporter of Hezbollah. We heard in just the hours before this strike from the head of the Strategic Council for Foreign Relations in Iran, Kamal Karzai, who said that Israel will face a harsh response if it launches an attack on Lebanon under the pretext of responding to the targeting of Majdal Shams in the Golan Heights. So I think all these warnings would suggest there's going to be a very, very strong response from Hezbollah. And we're in unknown territory now, because this is the incident possibly that could tip the region into war. And as you know, the Hezbollah is part of what they call the so-called axis of resistance, headed by Iran, but supported with fighting militia, including the Houthis in Yemen, militia in Syria and Iraq. And we're likely to see quite a lot of response from them. Now, you're right, as you mentioned earlier, Hezbollah has, and we understand through back channels, Israel has been indicating that they do not want this to escalate into a massive regional war, but it certainly right now has the potential to do just that.
Yeah, absolutely. I should just say, Alex, that the Israelis are saying also that there are no changes in the Home Front Command defensive guidelines. So they are saying that they are not increasing their defences specifically because of this. So it does look as if the Israelis think that this attack has been concluded and they're not expecting a response. But as you say, these are dangerous days.
Yes, Hezbollah has made it clear that they will respond in kind to whatever Israel does. That's been the position for the past 48 hours, and also in numerous speeches from the Hezbollah leader.
Alex,